Welcome back to Pop Culture Roll Call, the show where our hosts are watching The Magicians by only viewing the scenes that their character is present for. This is Season 1, Episode 9, The Writing Room.
Welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call. I'm your host, Mike. I'll be watching everything from the point of view of Penny. To the left of me, as always.
It's Stasia. I'm watching everything from the point of view of Margot.
In front of me, as always.
It's Colin. I watch everything from the point of view of Elliot, as always.
And right here, right now.
Hey, it's Brian. I watch as Quentin.
We've been orphaned 2 weeks in a row.
James is not here.
If it happens one more time, I'm going to start stealing.
I live here.
Pour one out for your enemies.
I also have a suspicion of somebody else who is probably, let's say, barely here. Are you still in Ibiza?
Oh, there's no way she's here.
You piece of shit.
Oh, she's got a bit this time.
Oh, nice.
She was on vacation from doing bits last time, but
What
we're
is,
back.
is that an internet? Oh, introverting? Introverting with a
Little
Pusheen cat
Is
hat?
the cat wearing the same hat that is the hat?
That's very good.
He is.
Okay.
Is it like the non-cowards version of the Miami Dolphins logo, where
Yes.
like the Dolphins helmet has the Dolphins logo on and just incepts forever?
Yes, exactly.
There has
You
never
make up Easel
been
look good.
a stronger feeling internally than to on-air strike. Than to just go full-blown, sit in, lay down, kind of like hippies. We're all going to just pretend we're dead from the smog.
Unless you're striking for multiple days, it wouldn't do anything. We're not live. We would just cut your strikeout, and then like 2 hours later, you'd be like, all right, let's just do it.
I'm being silenced.
You're silencing yourself. You're a coward.
Wow.
You're silencing
Wow.
yourself. You're a coward.
Wow. Okay, big brother.
Are you going to skip an episode?
Are you going to skip on us?
Speaking of, we're going to actually add an episode
That's
this
true.
weekend, Saturday at 1 p.m.
I won't be there.
I think it's August 9th,
will,
I
in
think.
fact, be there. It
August
is
9th at
August
1
9th.
p.m. Central Time. We'll
Yes.
post up some stuff.
If you're hearing this, vote in the poll that is currently up.
Or vote with me in solidarity.
Don't give
Don't
Mike
vote?
a day off.
What?
I'll
Are you
just
saying
vote,
don't
and then I'll
vote?
get to pick.
Don't vote with me, which means don't vote. And if we don't get any votes for the first time, I'm going to take that as a sign.
The thing is, that's your worst case scenario because then I will just vote with my account and then we watch whatever I want to watch.
And then we're just going to hang out, just us.
Staj is going to put
chatting.
on like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, how'd that get on the list? Guess we're watching it.
Whoops.
Oh, no. This is why voting is important, because democracy dies in silence.
Really
folks.
does.
So if you don't make your opinions heard, then Staj is going to make us all
wait.
watch K-pop Demon
So wait,
Hunters.
if you don't make your opinions heard, anime wins. We got to make our voices
Oh,
heard.
now Mike's back on the line.
From the top of the bell tower.
It's also not anime.
Anyway,
You tell me K-pop Demon Hunter isn't anime?
Where do you think anime's from?
okay, this Saturday,
Demon Hunters.
August 9th,
Ninth.
at 1 p.m.
Central Time.
Time. We'll see you there.
See you there.
Will we?
Oh, yeah.
Will we
Definitely.
though?
100%, Mike.
All right, so go ahead and start the episode, Mike.
Mike, go ahead and start the episode. This is what we do here.
I will not take that attitude from you.
Me?
No, from her.
Oh,
Go ahead,
let's say.
start the episode, Mike, so I can get back to my staycation.
Oh, she's petting her dog and wearing sunglasses?
Yeah. Rage, Otacon.
I mean, you're telling Mike to start the episode. I'm pretty sure I start the episode.
Yeah.
I
Do you
start
have
with
anything before
credits.
credits?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What do you
Wait,
got before
yes.
credits?
Wait, yes. It's gonna be
Oh,
another
right, you do
solid
have-
week from Mike understanding where he's at in the episode.
But I start when I'm waking up in bed with Alice, and it's like kind of just cutting
As
to-
humans or doggies?
as humans, not foxes. And I don't know how maybe it's just delivered by the mail. I don't know how it got here, but there's a letter, like a physical letter from Julia, who we've not heard from in a
Oh
while.
yeah, your old friend.
Old friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who hates her boyfriend because he likes her, but just
Hates her boyfriend?
yeah, from the first episode. Do you remember this?
I don't.
No. What
Wait.
happened?
You
I
okay.
hate her boyfriend, or Julia hates her boyfriend?
You hate her.
Oh,
boyfriend.
yeah, sorry.
I thought we found out like Julia hates her
Oh,
boyfriend.
no,
and the
no.
first I was
I'm
like,
talking about Quentin.
But Julia's boyfriend seems, or at least from the one scene we had, seemed to like Quentin, and Quentin's
Yeah,
just like, whatever.
I know. I just want to remind everybody about Quentin because I hate him.
But Julia's still pissed at me
yeah.
for pretty good reasons. Especially because I still have not made any attempt to fix any of the stuff
It's
that happened.
So easy to be pissed at you.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is the least episode. This episode's been the least I've been pissed at you. but it's still kind of there.
You're not pissing me in this episode?
Like me and Mike, I think this has been the most like manageable Quentin has been.
Quentin's not at fault for a lot of what happens in this episode.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, she gives me this, like, it's basically like her voiceover and me kind of pacing around the kitchen or whatever, reading the letter. But she's basically like, oh, I don't understand why we fell apart after being friends forever. She's like, I'm sorry for my part. And I'm probably not supposed to say this in a letter at this, but like, yeah, I'm still pissed at you. And you really fucked up too. And it broke us. And I hate you for that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm working on forgiving you. Right.
Okay.
And so I get on the computer and start typing a reply, and it is the worst fucking reply. Like, her letter is like this long, kind of thoughtful, like emotional thing, and I'm just like, I got your letter. Guess we're both still mad, but I'm glad you're okay. Take care of yourself. And that's it.
God.
Included a Polaroid of him thumbs upping the camera
Like,
and kind of
he might
smiling
as well
awkwardly.
have, right? It was a boring fucking letter for like what got sent to him.
Yeah.
If you're not going to like reciprocate in kind with like this kind of thoughtful, emotional thing, don't reply.
Like 13-page heartfelt, you could see the tear stains, and then the reply, handwritten calligraphy. Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like long fucking message, you know, and then like thumbs up reaction to it.
What's worse, the thumbs up or okay period? Capital O.
They're both bad.
Yeah.
Okay, period's bad. Is there a way to just send like a red?
But that's
Like,
basically what
back
I
so
sent.
that
That's
it's like-
basically what I sent. Because most of
read
what I
it.
sent is, I got your letter.
I read it. Thumbs up. I think
Anyways.
okay period I can forgive depending on who it's coming from, because I know people in my life who respond okay period not realizing the anxiety that it can cause to somebody.
The period or like
Well,
the
it's-
number of hours I've lost of sleep over the... Was that period intentional or they just double click?
Yeah, and turns out it's just my dad texting, and he just that's just how he does it. And I had to get over that.
PSA, okays don't need those periods. It's going to open, unless you're trying to
Yeah.
send a message without saying anything.
Anyway, Alice wakes up. We start talking about Fillory Book 6 for whatever reason.
Nerd.
And
It's just first thing in the morning. It's like Henry talking about it's like Henry talking about trains. The first thing he says when he wakes up is choo choo. The first thing Quentin says when he wakes up is Fillory.
and there's like a bit of like lore here about how like Fillory basically decided when to let like the Chatwins come to Fillory and when to like kick them out. And we get these like names of Ember and Umber, which are the twin gods of Fillory. And sometimes they just get mean and take their toys away because they have their reasons or whatever.
Fair enough.
We'll figure probably, I'm assuming this will be more important a season and a half from now, right?
Yeah.
It's
Ember and Umber is a good name for twin gods.
yeah. And
cool.
and they
Opposed to Timothy and Bimothy.
exactly, yeah.
Better, way better.
I almost feel like they took the manuscript away from me as like part of their kind of like mischievousness or whatever, or like they have their reasons.
They
I
were the
don't know.
wind that blew the manuscript into the
Who
forest.
knows? But then like we were like, oh, is there no spell? Like, oh no, sorry, I wrote this down because I was whatever. I don't put quotes in my notes. It's a mess. Anyways, I thought this was something that they said. No, it's something I said. They don't have a spell to like find something. I'm assuming that exists, right? If you're a magician, the first spell I'm inventing as the first ever magician is find my fucking keys spell.
Yeah, the number of times I'm like, I'm not going to use the trigger, but trigger word, where's my phone in my own home is like a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely the first thing you would do.
But then we do use a spell to find the thing. We're like basically have this like plate of fire.
Plate of fire.
It's just like a plate with fire on it.
That's,
And
called,
I don't
that's
really,
called fajitas.
I don't really. I think it's
Have some fajitas.
we went to Chili's.
Can I have fajitas to go?
Triple dipper? Triple dipper?
Triple dipper.
Triple dipper?
And we're basically like following I don't know how it was working. It was not clear on
It
whether
sizzles louder, like a hot and
probably
cold
was,
kind of deal.
but it sizzles a lot when we get to Penny.
Yeah, and then you come in and I have like a thing of like a foil pack of tortillas. Just making...
Is this another
just-
fajitas joke?
Yeah.
Okay,
Come
fair.
with that
Do you
one.
have the Fillory book though?
No.
He did.
I did. So you come asking about book 6.
So I
And-
lost it. It was like in my dresser or something.
Yeah, I think, and you accused me of taking something when you first met me.
Yeah, like episode 1.
And I called you out of like, why are you profiling me, man? Turns out I actually did take it because I was bored and it was there.
Sure, board thieving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you read it, though.
Yeah. I also spilled some beer on it, maybe. And I tossed it because it wasn't good. It's boring.
Oh, great. Yeah, because you hadn't read 1 through 5, fake
Yeah.
fans, but
Yeah.
you don't even know any of their songs.
I will say we find out some stuff about book 6 that could explain why you thought it was boring. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Hmm.
Isn't knowing about Fillory kind of like a prerequisite
No.
for the school? It's
No.
not. It's only for Quentin.
It's like how if let's just say you find out tomorrow magic is real. It's like, is having read Harry Potter a prerequisite? Like, no, that's fiction. Everybody in our world thinks it's fiction.
Got it.
But some people know it's real. People
Yeah.
at the school know it's real, but they don't. Like, it doesn't even seem like everybody there, one, has read Fillory and Fervor, or two, know that there is a book series that is written about one of the other planes of existence or one of the other like worlds.
Actually, probably Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a better touch point than Harry Potter for
Yeah,
Fillory.
definitely.
Yeah,
Makes
it's
more sense.
kind of like right across the plate for Fillory.
Yeah.
It seems
They
like
go
it's
through a
like-
clock. It's not a wardrobe at all.
I can't wait till we get there and see what big animal talks and acts like God. It's going to be so fun.
But anyways, we
It's
find
the
out something.
beast, my dude.
It's
probably.
the beat. Probably not. Unless they're trying to make a really big statement about God.
We're finding out some stuff.
We'll learn about the
Fillory in this
beast.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first thing we find out is that Christopher Plover did not write book 6.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
man. His
then
cousin
that's-
or something came in
Yeah,
to finish
Brandon
the series.
Sanderson did.
Yeah.
I was making a Frank Herbert joke, but Brandon Sanderson's a better one. The Wheel of Time bullshit here.
Yeah, I'm telling you all this from what
Right.
I learned. Like, apparently the girl Jane
Jane.
Chatwin did, and she started off the book by saying some things in the other books were wrong, and she wanted to set some things straight.
So book 6 is like her response to the first 5 books of like, here's what actually happened.
Yeah, the true unauthorized story.
And you're
So-
trying to remember things because, like, listen, you're not going to remember every book
Yeah.
or every word from a book you just read once.
So-
And you're like, oh, there was a talking dog. Maybe it was a pig. Maybe it was a ferret. You
Yeah.
know, whatever.
The mom died. They were hanging out in the mansion eating crumpets. Does that sound right?
Sure. Yep.
Yep. And there was Jane and Martin, and Martin
No, Martin wasn't there.
Martin wasn't there.
You're like Jane. They were both there, and then but we're getting the like video
Yeah.
of this. We're seeing like a dog with like a little fancy like Shakespearean collar
And that's a
on,
pig with
and
a
then
collar.
it cuts back and it's a pig. Cuts back and it's a ferret.
Okay,
Yeah,
at least
so
they're
we're-
doing a visual
yeah.
gag
Yeah.
with it. That's kind of fun.
That's really cute.
And apparently, like, it wouldn't let Martin go. Like, Fillory wouldn't let Martin come in, and only Jane could. And he was getting all sad about that. And you're like, wait, did the animal? She caught the animal. Did she get a wish? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? Can animal get a wish? Pig get a wish? Ferret wish? What? Because apparently, if you get a wish, then you get a button, which could be the key to Fillory.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's if you. Okay, so this is important for later. If you get a wish, you get a button that lets you.
Or you can make a wish to get the button.
It doesn't matter how the whole Fillory part of this works. Long story short, there's a physical button, like a shirt
Yeah.
button, like not a press button, like a button on that goes on your shirt, and the button is the key to returning to Fillory.
Got it. Okay, so that's what the button is later. Well, spoiler alert: we learn about a button later, and I was so fucking confused.
And so, like, the button is one of those things that's like mentioned a lot of times in like books 1 through 5, apparently, and the message boards have all these crazy theories about what the button means. And so, book 6 is like, no, here's what the button is.
It's a MacGuffin button.
yeah.
Okay.
My button.
It's
And
a
we
button.
And we think that the button could be at the author's house still.
Yeah, the estate, the Plover estate. Plover?
I kept wanting to say Christopher Plummer.
I think it's Plover.
Oh,
with a
so
V.
so that's why the beast is after you, because you potentially had a way to
Know about
get
the button and
to a
find
door in Fillory,
Yes, I
right?
believe so.
Okay, that makes sense.
I want that button.
it. That
So-
gets actually explained kind of directly
Okay.
here a
Yeah.
little
Sorry,
bit.
I
Yeah,
just, like,
not in this scene, but later in this episode. So yeah, you have
Okay.
you pieced that together 100%.
Okay.
And I guess we're going to go
To London
to the source of all this.
or England somewhere.
And y'all are like, what's the quickest way there? And you turn around and I'm gone already.
Oh, yeah, you already went to England.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you go without them though?
You can't. But I don't think I don't think you know how to bring people yet, do you?
Oh,
Also,
that's right.
I mean, I think it's 30% skills, 70% fuck you.
Yeah, 100%. So
You're gonna
we're
be-
like, I guess we'll book a flight. We're trying to figure.
You're
this
gonna
out.
be there like 4 days early and just hanging out. I guess you'll have
Yeah,
stuff
that's
to
great.
do
They're
in
the
England.
worst places to hang out.
That's true.
Listen, if you ever have the time and the money, like if you're going for so me and my wife, we go to like comic conventions, but if we can make it work, we'll go like 2 or 3 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
To just like get a actual relaxation in.
Yeah.
Do it. It's
Take
great.
an actual vacation.
Take a
instead of
vacation before the hard work.
Yeah,
the hard work of being on vacation.
Yeah.
How the
Yeah.
other half lives.
That's Mike on at conventions isn't really taking a vacation.
Y'all don't got that dog in you.
He's working.
You don't got that dog in you.
Listen, I have that dog in me. It just happens to be like my dog and naps 75% of the day.
It's the only time of the year where Colin will be like, I wake up at 6:30 every day of the week. And I'm like, that's a hate crime. And then mid-convention, I'm like, ooh, 6:30? I woke up late. We got to get this going.
Yes,
I got to be there on time.
He literally gets up at like before I even would reasonably consider doing
So
it.
you just traded the kid for comic books and pictures with the cast of Fantastic Four?
They're going to be there?
Probably.
Anyway.
It's the press junket, dude.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, credits.
Pedro Pascal. Mind Sluts. Not about Pedro.
No. We're not correlating him to Mind Slut. I'm not saying he can't be, but
He
we're
wanted
not
to.
insinuating.
Anyway.
I think the internet's doing enough insinuating about about America's cool uncle, Pedro Pascal.
Who doesn't love him?
It's hard not to.
Yeah. Apparently some people don't. I think they just hate the people love him.
They just hate that he's lovable.
Yeah. So they get mad. They yell behind their computers.
Oh.
And then
Behind
people
them?
Behind
no,
them.
wait, not like. Wait. I know you mean in front of the screen. I imagine they
Oh,
went
yeah.
behind their computer to yell.
Well, they don't want the computer to see them yelling. It
Yeah.
might affect its performance.
Yeah, it's algorithm.
Yeah.
We are at the Plover Estate.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're still at
You're at the
home.
Plover Estate.
We're
All right,
packing.
I'm having my 4-day minication.
Yeah.
And so we're like heading out to go catch a flight, and Elliot catches us.
Yeah. Elliot is. So, if we all remember at the end of last episode, Elliot killed a man.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Yeah, everyone remember?
Hard turn.
Remember when I killed a
Do
guy?
you think it's your first time?
Killing somebody? Isn't that actually a no? Elliot knows that's a no. Because didn't he say he got a kid to walk in front of a bus?
Right?
That's how we found out he was magic.
Yeah, so this is 2 at least.
Because I confessed to Quentin that I killed a man when I was like 14, or kid when I was
So
14.
why are you so broken up about
Yeah.
it?
I think
Get
it's-
over it, you
I didn't-
softy.
Well, because I didn't fuck the other one and like him and stuff, and like
Fair enough. One was actually a bully, and the other one was
my boyfriend, yeah, or something. So yeah, I'm still pretty torn up. I am very clearly drinking my sorrows away and trying to. I think we had talked about how Elliot's going to react to it, whether I'm going to get kind of like isolated or like how I'm going to respond. And it seems like Elliot doesn't know how he should respond. There's a guy there who I think I say his name wrong. It doesn't matter. All it's supposed to get at is that there's like a guy there that I'm very clearly like sleeping with, who we do not seem to have chemistry. I'm not acknowledging him. I'm just like drinking while he kind of sits next to me.
Yeah.
And then I like kind of dismiss him, like, you can go, like, I don't know, Pedro. He's like, it's Paulo or something. He's like, whatever, and just sort of leaves. And then I'm like kind of stumbling across the room to get more alcohol, and I see
Don't
Alice.
you make a joke about how he like sucks at oral or something?
Yeah, I do here in a second. Where it's because I'm like, we would talk about the oral. Yeah, well, it's true. So I'm like pouring liquor, and Alice and Quentin are like, we got to go to England, and they're like talking about going to England. I was like, where y'all up to? What are y'all going to England for? And they're like, oh, we're gonna do like a thing. He's like, well, it's like, how are you getting there? He's like, I think we're gonna book a flight. And he's like, well, you don't need to do that. Like, Margot and I made a door to our favorite pub in England. You could just walk through there, and I'll show you if you take me with you. And they're like, I don't like. They're like, you don't really know like what's kind of going on here. And he's like, I'll find out. Plus, I'm bored. Which is just like he doesn't want to acknowledge his feelings. He doesn't want to like do anything.
Margot's not here to distract him.
Margot's not here to
Yeah.
distract him, so he wants to go do a thing.
Anything.
Get away from the house, get away from all this like stress.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we go off, and the next shot is we're in England at the Plover family estate tour.
Yeah, and it's kind of a basic like whatever. The guy's giving facts about the books or whatever it is, and I'm doing the fucking asshole thing of correcting the tour guide on his facts.
Yeah,
and he's
minor
like,
facts.
You know, whatever. I'm annoying as I always am, and then like. What Elliot like starts sneaking away at some point, and he's like, "No, like there's some rooms that are off limits still. Sorry." And then like he makes a joke about like, "Oh, I can't go do the tour without you." Like, you know, random guy correcting me all the time, who I wish was not on this tour with me. But whatever. It's all there to set up that like the next scene we are breaking back in after dark.
Yep. It is cute. I will say before we move on too quickly, Quentin is being annoying. But it is also, I think, the closest I get to endear as a fellow like nerd who gets that way about stuff. Like he walks into a room and he's like taking selfies everywhere, and he's like bouncing up and down. He's like so excited to be in this house.
Quoting the tour guide's speech.
Yeah, because he knows the speech so well.
And at that point, Penny's like, "You'll never be a man.
You'll never be a man."
But no, it was like, listen, I've been that like nerded out by something.
Yeah.
Well, not that. Like he got a 14, I go to a 9.
Right. Like a couple things. One, it's cuter when you're younger.
Yes.
Versus like a full-grown adult. B, don't correct the tour guide. Like whisper it under your breath to like your friend who came with you. Don't be like, actually, he was born in 1617, not 1660. It's like, fuck off, please.
The correcting the tour guide's the bad thing. The rest of it I think is decently harmless. But regardless, we are breaking back in later. You're gonna have more time to caress wood. It's a table. He's like sitting with his hands on the, anyway.
Do you guys find this button, or do you guys just molest
we'll
furniture?
get to the button. Don't jump ahead to the button. The
so
button
did the
comes-
dinosaurs break out?
It's like, did you find the button? Yes. End of episode. Credits roll. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you next
The
week.
biggest thing we do in this
found
episode.
button. Scene.
It's just so funny because it's like you guys are talking about how he's touching the furniture. I'm like,
Honestly, the
there a
button is the
button in
least
the-
important thing.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I mean, it's the most important, like, mechanical thing. The information we get in this episode is, I would say, like, it changes a lot about how Quentin views
Oh yeah.
the world, almost.
Oh,
And we'll get
interesting.
there.
There's a reason why it shows you being so gung ho and so
Yes.
like annoying about
Like,
your love for this
and,
thing.
like
'cause
taking it
it's-
so like, this is the desk where he wrote the books.
Yeah.
And he like sniffs it.
and rubs it. So yeah, we're in there looking for a couple buttons. We
Yeah.
like magically disable the security system. It's later that night, and
We do not magically disable the security system because the tour guide shows up later.
yeah,
Because
but
an alarm went off.
but we do zap something.
Yeah.
Right?
We shoot a light bulb.
Oh, is that it? We just played some Splinter Cell
There's
once.
like a big floodlight outside. We're like, blap, shoot the light bulb. We're good. I'm in.
Wait,
I missed that.
When I cast spells, I could just do the blap sound
You
effect.
can
from my...
do whatever you want. You have a mouth.
As long as there's no somatic components to it, yeah. Or verbal.
That's true.
verbal,
Verbal
yeah,
components.
yeah.
Sorry, I always think somatic for some reason in my head is a
I
verbal thing.
cast gun. Blap.
You need a little black
I also
powder.
love that the tour guide is also the security guard. I think that's very funny.
Won't be in a second.
Yeah, won't be very true.
Hello.
We do get
Turn.
yeah.
I love. What? I'm just on vacation.
This is when Quentin's fawning over the desk, and we do get some backstory about like what this means to you in your conversation. With
Yeah, and
Alice.
it's this whole thing about like I was 16 when I was first hospitalized, and talking about how like my brain breaks sometimes. The way they talk about mental health in this episode is like, I guess it's fine.
It's fine. It's not. It doesn't feel damaging, but it doesn't feel like it's doing anything interesting.
like I don't feel like they
necessarily.
like hired consultants for this aspect of it.
No.
but they're like doing their best, I would say.
Yeah, they're doing okay.
And we're kind of just snooping through the office, and we find a letter from Christopher Plover?
Chris Plummer. I'm just going Chris Plummer.
Nope.
right.
Plover.
Christopher Plover's sister
Prudence.
was Prudence. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Prudence wrote a letter to a lawyer basically saying Christopher is missing.
He's not dead.
Like, and I think we're dating the letter to like a few months or years or whatever before he was like
Pronounced.
well, like he died of a heart attack is the public story.
Right.
Okay.
right. And we're now seeing a letter that he was missing for like months before he died. So basically, like, what we're putting together here is that he was missing, but they lied to say that he died, because if he's missing, it looks horrible for him because these 3 children in the books, like, I think one of them dies or something like that, but
Yeah.
like they go missing, right?
All of the children either die or go missing at some point around. And I guess maybe we do need to take a little bit of a back step because there's some important context.
Yes.
We talked a lot about the tour where Quentin being annoying, but we did gloss over some of the world building on what the world thinks of Christopher Plover,
Yes.
which is that he so beloved children and telling children's stories and writing books for children that he
Years after he died, his house is now a museum that is well-attended tours.
Yeah, exactly. And he was paying for the education of his housekeeper's kids. He had multiple kids who he would it seems like maybe like orphaned children or
almost
something.
like a foster. He was like basically like a foster parent to the Chatwins.
Exactly.
And if they're missing and or dead, and now he's missing, maybe people start to draw some connections that they don't want. So they're like,
Got it.
he's, and they, obviously that the show hinting he's missing clearly went into fillery, right?
Right.
So we'll find out a little more later.
Which we get a little bit here because, or not even exactly later, because while we're sort of talking about this idea of, we're starting to put the pieces together where there's this eccentric, maybe, I don't really know too much about him, but this author who is surrounding himself with children, who is sort of beloved member of the community, is taking care of these families of the children. He's telling stories. He's gaining in fame and popularity. His books are well renowned. They're beloved by the community and in the world at large. And then he goes missing. The family tries to keep it on the down low. The kids start going missing and start dying. And it seems like the family has to come together and figure out how they're going to spin this. And the way they spin it is they're like, oh, he died. We're not doing a funeral. It's a very closed casket thing. You can come see the grave later. And they're just going to say he had a heart attack. But that doesn't seem to be the case in these letters. And while we're investigating this, that's when Penny is over on looking at the bookshelves and notices 4 different important books.
Yeah. So first you find a bunch of books that have, like, they're all magical books.
Yeah, you find them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so because there's 2 sets of the discovery here. There's first where we find like 4 regular books, and the theory is like, oh, he, did magic spell and things went bad. But then I find 3 other books that are essentially like 101 for travelers.
Right.
Yeah.
So he either was a traveler or wanted to be, which is problematic because if you're slightly off, you're dead. So it wasn't just magic, it's traveling magic.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if he wants to go to Fillory, which he's not allowed to do because of the aforementioned Ember and Umber do not let him into Fillory.
Yeah.
Right. So he's trying to find a way around that. He is trying to learn traveling magic, to feel like if he can bypass the whims of these gods of the world that he is stealing the likeness of to sell his children's literature.
Which would work because I've ended up there once by accident.
Right. So, but he wasn't a traveler.
Yeah.
You're a natural traveler.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we get into here is that, like, Penny says chances are if he tried to travel and he's not a traveler, he just blew up and he's dead.
That might have been they might be like he's missing. He might have just teleported to the center of the earth
and just be gone. But Quentin, I still at this point has not lost any reverence for the author and is like, there's a chance that he succeeded though, and he's in Fillory, and that's why he's missing.
Yes.
Is because once you get in, you can't get out.
Anyways, we start snooping more through the house, and Alice hears like some giggling or something.
Some spooky thing moves in the background.
Yeah, but before we could go and check that out, that our tour guide is back.
Yeah, and begging us to leave.
With a bit of fear?
He's not begging us to leave like, you guys are trespassing,
Laws.
I'm gonna call the cops. He's begging us to leave, be like, you can't be here, like this is a problem for me in particular.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this one, Penny gets mind slutty and like start to kind of read his intentions and realize that he is both so afraid and so like panicked that you can't read. Like
He's frantic in his
you don't
thoughts.
know why because you can't read his head, but you know that he's legitimately like terrified of something, and for good reason, because right as we're like, you need to tell us the true story about what what's going on with this like Christopher Plover dude. And he's like, you know the true story. And we're like, no, you don't know the true story. And Elliot, who's, you know, not really done anything up to this point, you know, we're realizing that we're trying to interrogate this guy. It's in the middle of the night. And we're like, something scary might be coming. We need to get the information quickly. And Elliot's like, oh, Jesus, fuck this. And like, they're just like going back and forth. And he like holds his hands up and does the same magic that I used to kill. Now I'm going to remember, I forget my boyfriend's name who I killed. Mike. And I do this with like electricity kind of zaps between three of my fingers. And I'm like, hey, I'm a super villain. Tell me everything or it's not going to go well for you, dude. And the guy like seems to believe that magic is real or kind of knows. Like, he's a tour guy, but he seems like he's way more tied into the world than just like, this isn't like a summer gig and then he goes back to uni.
Yeah.
But he's like, fine, I'll tell you everything. And then boom, shadow figure, lights flicker, gone.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he's gone.
We do find him.
Oh yeah,
very quickly we find him.
pretty much immediately, because we hear like a like in the room over, and we run over, and
He dead.
His mouth's sewn shut. His eyes are gone. I think.
No, I think his eyes are there, but it's very much a lesson of snitches
Literally get stitches.
get mouth stitches.
Yeah, mouth stitches. So somebody doesn't want him to say anything. It's a very clear. They focus on his mouth. Like, he was gonna say something. Somebody does not want him to tell the truth about Christopher Plover.
Mm-hmm. Or Christopher Plummer. Either. My next scene is we're just running out.
Yep.
Just screw this shit.
Do you all see me there? Because my next scene, I'm tied to a chair with Alice.
We run out and then we realize, oh, wait.
You're still inside.
Where is Allison? Fuck me. And then we have to head back in.
Got it. Yeah, because we all agree at that point, whenever we find the dead man, that we're gone, we're outie. And I cut back in. Do you all look for us for a second, or do you want me to jump into our scene with Elliot and Alice?
Go ahead. You go for it. We basically end up going back inside to look for you, but
Sure.
Yeah.
So Elliot kind of comes to, in like I said, we're in kind of like a children's bedroom ish. Nobody's there. Alice is still kind of tied up and asleep across from me. We're in front of like a little table. We're not like in a dungeon. It's not like chains. We're like kind of tied loosely, I guess would be the best thing. Like, it's tight, but it's not like I don't know. It doesn't have this like adult violence to it, which is important from what comes out of this next scene. And I'm trying to figure out, like, hey, can you get us out of here? Like, Alice, come on. Like, do you have a spell? Like, how do we get out? Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, we just passed out, or what? I don't know how we got here. And there's this little girl's voice kind of coming through the doorway behind us, and she's like, oh, please don't do magic, or she's gonna put you in the quiet place. And she kind of like sits down and kind of like opens up a coloring book or something like that. And it's like, the quiet place. Cool. So what's your name? And I start to talk to her, and that's when the light flickers as I'm trying to like talk to this little girl and get some more information. And the little girl says, she's coming. And you hear this like kind of footsteps, light flickers. And I expected like a big monster, but it's really just kind of a older woman in kind of a black dress that comes in. And she's got that attitude of a tawdy, stern matriarch, like an older woman just like coming in. She's, I don't remember exactly what she's saying, but basically like she's talking about Christopher needing peace and quiet to do his important work. And we've been bad little children, and we need to not bother him, and we need to sit in our room, and we need to be quiet. And she grabs some tea, and she like pours some little tea glass, and she takes a little like syringe, and she puts like a few drops of something into the teacups and then sets it in front of the little girl, Alice, and Elliot. And she's like, drink your tea, be good little children. And the little girl like picks up her teacup and drinks, and Alice picks up her teacup and starts drinking. And the little girl makes eye contact with Elliot, and Elliot looks at her and like kind of eyes the tea, and the little girl kind of like shakes her head no, and Elliot kind of takes his tea and dumps it like quietly off to the side, and then pretends that he had drank it. At this point, obviously something is in the tea. It was a drug. Alice and the little girl kind of pass out after I kind of pour my quality. They start to kind of like fade. And then I have another scene later, but I'll let you all do a thing, unless you find me in the next scene. I have a little bit more.
Penny and I are swooping back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We go into one of the rooms that were like, roped off earlier for the tour. So we like take down the rope, go in this room, and like, everything in the room's covered with like sheets. You know, it's kind of been totally
Strike one.
right. And then just like, you know, your standard creepy shit starts happening. Like a music box starts to play on
Strike
its
two.
own, and like a ball rolls towards us or whatever.
That's
it is.
my notes. I say nope. Listen, scariest thing in the world, kids where they shouldn't be.
Yep. And there's
You hear
a
giggle, you hear ball.
and then we see a little ghost child,
Ah.
and he's like, "I tagged you. You're it." But with like, you know, an annoying British accent.
Wow.
And so
Shots fired from across the pond.
and so we start chasing this kid, and like we see him again, and he looks less dead now.
Well, if the lights flash
Yeah.
on, and then he looks alive.
Right. Like he doesn't have like the dark eyes and, you know, whatever. Right. It's just makeup really is the only effect
Like
they do here. But
one is like dead of winter, the other one's like a hot August. If that makes sense.
it does not.
Because suntans.
And we
One's
keep
a hot August. I want to go into a bar, walk up. Hey, what can I get you? I think I'll take a hot August.
I'm just gonna give me a cool February.
chasing him, and then like he's behind us. Like you know, we see him run one way, and then he's behind us somehow because
Yeah, because he's a ghost.
fucking annoying British ghost. And
It's the spooky version of just that.
Yeah, yakety
that,
sax.
yakety sax in minor key. It's just the Empire, the Imperial, like the Emperor's theme in Star Wars and the Episode 1 celebration are the same like music, but like they switched the key and sped it up or whatever.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew
I
that
didn't know that
That was
one.
a fun little trivia bit. Anyways,
It's like
Christopher,
poetry. It rhymes.
Nerd.
Yeah,
Fucking hate you. Lisa thinks you're an asshole.
Christopher Plover is going up the stairs, and like
Looking normal and fine. Like,
yeah, but like so there's this whole thing about like, oh, it was a time slip. Like we slipped into a different time or
I
whatever.
say it in like a way that of like it's a Wednesday. Oh, it's a time slip.
Yeah, it's
and
time
you're
slip. You don't know about time slips, you fucking magic noob.
and I'm like, yeah, Sunderland talks about it all the time because she has a PhD in hauntings. And the thing about haunted houses is kind of like ghost movies, like things just run on a loop.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
So it's just playing itself over and over again.
So that's where we get the it's a loop thing. Because Alice seems to know this too. Elliot does not seem to know this, or like does, but I didn't know where we imparted the information. The audience was told in a different scene as common knowledge,
It's a
which
rerun.
is why we all know it. Okay, that makes sense.
So we're watching Jane run up the stairs towards Christopher Plover, and Martin is chasing after Jane. These are the Chatwins, like the oldest girl and the middle boy, I believe, right? And there's a younger one than the three of them.
Which is probably the little girl that was with Alice.
I thought there was two boys and a girl, and Jane's the oldest, and then the two boys are younger. But I could be wrong on that. Anyways, Plover, like Jane goes into the clock. Martin can't get in. He like opens up the clock, and you know it's a clock or whatever, and he like falls to the ground, and Plover like runs into Martin on the ground, and he like is comforting him. Let's go have tea.
Some things just aren't fair. It's okay.
And then the lights flicker, and the ghost kid's back, and he's like, "She's coming. We need to hide."
He's back to cool February.
Yeah, and then we like, he touches my hand, and we like teleport to another room.
The little kid touches
The
your
little
hand?
kid touches my hand,
Okay.
and like snap, we're in a different room.
But I'm not with you.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah, because you disappear, and then my first response is, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then some lady appears.
It's probably the same old matriarch gal.
Yeah. And she's like, what did I tell you children about disturbing Mr. Plover? Yeah. And then my next scene is I wake up in the quiet place.
Excuse me. I have no idea when that fits in. What?
Well, because we do because he comes back later. He said he was in the quiet place and he bamfed out and then had to walk like a mile back to the house.
Yeah, I'll do this before I
okay.
bamf.
Yeah.
So I wake up in this room, like chained to the wall. And great sign, little like handprints behind me of the child variety.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's not great. But
like,
it's kind of, okay, maybe it was too dark and I couldn't
It's
tell.
tasteful.
I couldn't tell if it was like horror blood
Could
or
spend, like,
finger paints.
Ketchup or whatever. Like kids are messy eaters.
that's true. I don't think you're gonna have ketchup stains in the basement. Actually, Henry
That's
smeared
the
ketchup on a
fifth-
basement wall.
That's the
to be honest.
fifth valid
You
option.
do that.
Option 1, blood. Option 2, finger paints. 3 ranch dressing.
Unfortunately, we've all seen this entire episode, so we know that it's the saddest one.
Yeah.
Ranch dressing.
Yep. The saddest of condiments.
Ranch. And she says, no talking in the quiet place or I'll sew your mouth shut. And I'm like, okay, dip. And I just bamf out of there.
Oh, good.
And then I find everyone outside.
All right.
That's not way later, but it's here in a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Plover and Martin having like tea and biscuits, and Plover's being like, I would say like fatherly in a way. He's like let's have so many biscuits, because he's like trying to comfort this kid. He's like, let's have so many biscuits we ruin our supper. Like being kind of distract this kid from his like disappointment of not being able to go to Fillory anymore, right? And Jane comes back. And Martin leaves the room with Jane, and they go down the hall, and they're kind of like whispering in the hall. And this is like, to me, the first hint that something's wrong here, like in the house, right? And it's that Martin doesn't want to show Plover the button that Jane came back with. So she went to Fillory, got the button, comes back with the button, and Martin's like, let's hide it from him.
Huh.
Right?
Interesting.
The kids are conspiring.
Hiding stuff from the author.
Christopher, yes,
Yeah.
from Chris Plover,
Which is interesting, right?
yeah.
So and then Martin's like, "Hey George, we know you're spying on us," and like the youngest kid like comes out of a little like cubby hole basically, and I think this is their younger brother. I think this is the third family member, and Martin gives the button to George, and it's like, this is really important. Like you have to keep this hidden. Like find your best hiding place, right? And like gives the kid the button. Right, that's the end of that scene.
Okay.
And then I got my first introduction to Prudence.
Okay, I'll do one thing of us escaping out of Prudence's grasp here. So, Elliot did not drink the tincture, did not pass out. The little girl's passed out, and Alice are kind of fully passed out. But we cut back into that scene, and Elliot sort of recognizes that. What's her name? The matriarch gal? Prudence. That Prudence is gone, and kind of does a little shaboom, and his bindings break. He he knew there was magic he could do. He just didn't want to like do it before he knew something. But now that she's gone and she thinks that we're all asleep, maybe there's a chance she's gonna be gone for a little bit. I break the bindings. I go over. I start slapping Alice inside the face. I just like kind of wake up. She kind of comes to groggily, and we are trying to figure out what this is like. Beatrice because we're starting to realize, at least Alice seems to know here, that this is not happening in real time, and these are the people from history. These are ghosts, these are spirits, they're apparitions, there's something, but this is the Plover family household operating as it did in the times that they were writing the Fillory and Fervor books. These are not like modern people. And she's like, this must be, Alice is telling Elliot, like, we need to get out of here. We need to rescue these kids. This is what actually happened. This is the secret underneath it all, is that she was bringing the children to these rooms, drugging them and keeping them quiet. Who knows what else was going on in this house? But things are not this cheery sunshine, like pro-child happy times that the Plover estate would like you to believe that this family in this house was at this time.
Right.
There's some nefarious shit going on. That's when the little girl starts to wake up, and we're like, hey, come on, let's get you out of here. Like, you're going to come with us. And brutal, but she's like, kind of comes to, she's groggy. She starts complaining that her stomach feels really weird, and she kind of starts to retch and throw up, and then she passes out. And the idea is that I think she dies. Something like she overdoses or something like that. And it's not played. I don't know, because you can't overplay it, right? Like, it's not violent, dramatic, and like gut-wrenching, but it is just enough to give you the sense that like, this is how this little girl died in this room. And Alice is like, we need to get, Elliot's like, we need to get out of here, and Alice is like, we need to help. And he's like, she's already gone. And Alice calls out, this is the time loop thing that I didn't realize, but Alice seems to know, is like, well, no, she's not done here. Like, this is she's trapped in this. We need to be able to help.
She's both trapped in this, but she's also been dead for 100 years.
Exactly.
Right?
Her ghost is her spirit, but we don't know how that, like, is there a feeling associated with it? Is the fear real? Like, is this just a movie? Is this,
Or is she reliving it?
is she reliving it? We don't know. It seems like Alice seems to think that the pain is still like noticeable to the soul of the child, or whatever those words mean in this world. But Elliot convinces her that, like, we aren't solving this right here, right now. First, we need to regroup, and then we can, like, talk about it. Let's fuck off. And then we do in fact fuck off.
So I'm back in like the cubby of the office of Plover's office, and Prudence is there with Jane, and Martin and Plover. So it's the the two older people and Jane and Martin, right? And Jane's like asleep, and so Prudence like helps Jane to bed or whatever, and it's just Martin and Christopher Plover in this room. And Plover says, "You go ahead, Martin, just like last time." And Martin's like, "I don't know if I want to." And Plover is taking out a camera. And he's like just kind of chit-chatting. He's like, "I'm close to figuring out this wild magic, you know." And he's like, basically the books that we mentioned kind of on his shelf with these magic books. And he's like, "This magic's too strong to do with human hands." He's like, I just need to grow another finger. And like there's a spell for that too. And Martin, meanwhile, is taking his clothes off.
Oh my god.
And Plover is taking pictures. And Plover is like still keeps chit-chatting like this is nothing to him, and he's like, the solution to all our problems is in Fillory, and like I have to come with. He's like, we can find a way. He's like still taking pictures. He like tells him to take all of his clothes off. Takes more pictures, tells him to turn around, and he's like, he's just doing this like it's nothing, right? And George, the young boy, and I are like watching this through the grate, right? And George whispers to me, and he's like, "They play like that all the time. Like there's a whole pile of naughty pictures hidden in the dictionary." And then he's like, "Oh no, the mean lady." And then like he basically gets like grabbed on his back and pulled out of this like
The hiding place.
Okay.
Classic spooky.
And Prudence is like, "Little spy." And he's like, "I didn't see anything, I swear." And she says, "My brother is a good man," and like takes the kid and throws him against the wall and kills him.
Oh, Jesus.
They're both monsters.
And she's like, "To the quiet place. It's for the best," and like picks up his body, and the lights flicker again.
Oh, the quiet place is where they bury the kids, maybe? Oh.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is this what? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
What?
I just like didn't think this is what the show was doing.
Yeah, me neither. But I didn't. But it does make sense that this is like episode wrap up. But I think what we get here kind of makes some amount of sense. Like the kids found a legit so there's these
escape.
There's like 3 or 4 kids that basically find their Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They go through, they find a magical zone. You have 2 adults who then are talking to the kids, telling stories, and the guy, this Christopher Plover, uses the stories these kids are telling about this magical world that they find, this like magical utopia kid world, and writes it as stories, but then becomes addicted to the idea of going there and harnessing something or living amongst these like children because he's a predator, a sociopath. So he's taking these children's stories, selling them to the masses, using it as a way to like build up his reputation to the point where he can like groom children and kind of like funnel this what do they call it? There's a term for it, but basically like like an engine of abuse, basically.
Okay.
like feeds the fire of this like guy's like power trip of abusing children, while they're kind of like escaping into a magical world that he needs to keep letting them go into, but then bringing them back
for stories.
Stories,
so,
and trying to get them to go out and find a way to get him to be able to go in. They find this like magical MacGuffin, this button that he needs. He thinks this is like great way finally into the world of Fillory that all these kids have been telling him about for all these years.
So the beast is Christopher Plover.
I'm almost positive the beast is
that's
Christopher
just-
Plover.
I was trying to remember The Beast definitely had a British accent.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot remember if he had an extra finger.
Which I think I would assume that he does.
I thought we talked
That's why he
about
could do the super tutting.
this.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does just have an extra.
But
I
also,
think he does.
that's the Beast is an appropriate name.
Yeah, because
For
then
this
it's
level of
also
monster.
So
because
that- yeah.
like the creator of the story, the person who's selling the stories is selling these like books where like the Beast isn't really talked about, and right. So like because Quentin asks about like, well, the Beast isn't like talked about in these kids books, and the people at the store are like, oh yeah, because they're written for kids. That's not true.
No.
The Beast isn't talked about because the Beast didn't come in until after the books were written because
Right.
Christopher Plover wrote the books and then found a way into Fillory. That's why he stopped writing them
I guess we
because
don't
he
know
became the Beast.
Do we know the timeline on when the books were written?
I guess
I guess when he went missing, they stopped being written.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the idea of it.
okay.
Unless
Yeah.
the sixth one was written by somebody else after he's already went.
It
into
is
the
written by
world.
It was written by
Somebody
else.
Jane.
It's written
Right.
by her, which
Right.
probably it's about. I would assume that's about what Christopher Plover's like done since, or like, or
Yeah, or like
or
how
just
it changed the
correcting
world.
what
And
he wrote. Versus,
maybe.
Yeah.
like
And he was torturing the traveler I saw,
Right.
trying to find a way in.
Exactly. So it seems
interesting.
Oh, no, wait. I was in Fillory.
yes. So he's in there running ripshod on this fantasy world.
So he
found
found a
a
way.
way in.
No,
Right.
I don't think he did.
I think that
I don't think,
think
he
he's-
has a way into Fillory. I think he is still looking for that. That's why he's coming after
Oh,
me.
so we're assuming that maybe we assumed here, maybe I assumed that the Beast came from Fillory, but the Beast is still walking the earth and is
Or
like
the
now
other
consumed
planes.
with, or the other planes, but it's like trying to find a way into Fillory. That's
Yes.
the key that he wants.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Okay.
But regardless, I think we've just confirmed here that the Beast is the author.
Yeah,
That
I
seems
think,
like
I think
obvious.
that
Yeah.
seems 100% true.
Yeah.
It's like alluded at very strongly. I don't know. Nobody in my scenes are like, the Beast is Plover, but I think we're all like in agree. Like even our characters are like working under that suspicion.
This is
at
also
this point.
episode 9. This would be the time to make that
Yeah.
Jump.
jump,
I-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody remember what happened to Martin?
Martin didn't have he's not the kid with the button because that kid's the one we get in the
Yeah.
quiet place. I don't remember what happens to Martin.
Okay.
People talk about
I'm wondering if he's still alive and the Beast wants to find Martin
maybe
more than Fillory itself. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, we are outside.
Yeah, we're all outside.
And-
All three of us except for Penny.
Right.
But I basically start telling them about how start telling about what I saw, like how Plover was a terrible person, whatever. And I'm just pissed that generations of fantasy fans worship this fucking monster.
Yeah.
This hits weirdly close to home for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking about, man, every time you start writing about a magical world, how long do we have to wait to figure out, oh, you're an awful person. You're a
Anyway.
monster.
Okay.
I mentioned the extra fingers.
Yeah.
And this is when Alice has like a moment of recognition. And I think she was in the classroom when the Beast attacked. So she probably put those two pieces of information together, that extra fingers and the Beast, being the same thing.
Oh, so maybe we do get a little more confirmation than just hearsay. But
Yeah.
regardless, yeah. When you start asking about what happened to Penny, nobody knows. He disappeared when you got boofed away, and we weren't there initially, so we don't know where he is.
And you traveled to get out of Prudence's dungeon, is that what you said?
Because you show up at some point.
Yeah,
here. I didn't know if we had anything else
yeah.
before, but we're like asking about you, and then you just kind
I
of run.
traveled out of the dungeon, but was just off, and so I had to walk like a mile back.
And I basically say, hey, give me a 10-minute head start and I'll meet you at the cellar.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find a way to, because like Prudence is going to be guarding the quiet place. So it's not safe for us to just go there, but we think that's where the button is. And the button is obviously a MacGuffin. And I don't think we really know why we need it, but we know
I
that
think we needed to get into Fillory.
Yeah.
we need it to get into Fillory. But I guess I don't know.
Why we need?
We
to
also
fulfill
need it so the Beast can't get into Fillory.
Yeah, I guess I was just more confused, I guess, that like, because the Beast seems to want the button. The button's in his house.
He doesn't know where the button is, though.
I guess.
He never
yeah.
knew Jane even got the button.
Oh, because like I guess in my mind, the fact that they're reliving this is that the Beast would be able to access these same memories, but since he's involved with them, he can't come like observe
Yeah, I don't know.
from another perspective. I guess because I
Or
guess
maybe he wouldn't know to go to his own house to find ghosts. You
maybe
know?
yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I guess in my head I was like, why wouldn't he know where that is?
Well,
it's
but the
like
story
his
of the
domain
button,
or whatever.
other than like the ghost stuff we see, like Jane gets the button, comes back. Martin and Jane give it to I can't remember the kid's name.
Boy.
And then
George.
he dies
George.
with it in his pocket almost immediately.
Right.
Right? So he's buried with it. He would have, but like Christopher Plover would have no idea any of this even happened. He didn't even know Jane like went to get the button or was successful in doing so.
Got it. Okay, I just missed that part. So yeah, we're going back down. We're gonna get the button. We're afraid she's gonna be there. Quentin has an idea how to distract her. You go off. You need 10 minutes. At some point, we wait the 10 minutes and we walk over. And of course, she shows up. She does you can't go in there. It's the quiet place. You've been bad kids. Blah, blah, blah. The same ghosty, treating us as children, like stuck in a loop kind of deal. And that's when Quentin comes back around the corner.
And I have the photos, and I basically like show the photos from, because I knew they were hidden in the dictionary. I showed the photos to Prudence.
And say that you've hidden 48 more of these like raunchy child pornography photos all around the house, and that you're going to break the news so that everyone finds out how big of a monster Christopher Plover really was. She like screams no and then kind of like disappears. The idea that she's going to go like search the house for all this evidence and get rid of it so that nobody can find it.
And
Buy
now
some
like,
time.
we bought some time, so now let's go dig up a body.
Right.
And then the next scene is us with shovels in our hands digging up a body.
Yep. Takes a button out of a pocket.
Yep.
There's like some magical eyeglass thing. Doesn't really matter. All that really matters is we dig a hole, find a little like body. We don't like see kid bones or anything. It's just kind of like a burlappy sack. We reach in, we grab a button off of like a pendant, basically, and chuck it into our pocket. And we are going and walking off of the premises. And so we're like, mission accomplished. None of us died. We're gonna head out, but Alice stops us and is basically making the plea that we need to go back in and help the children.
Yeah.
Because like we learned, they're stuck in a loop of horrific abuse and violence where they're dying, and we don't know like what that means, but Alice seems to believe that the suffering is like true and real. And we're like, nobody is really, I think none of us want to go back in there. Obviously, it's the monster's den. Nobody wants to like go back in, and everyone else seems to be on the same page other than Alice, in that these kids died 100 years ago, and like, what are we going to accomplish by going back in there? And Alice is basically doing like to put them to rest.
Because you can clear the house, but you can't clear the ghosts.
Yeah, which is, so like Alice is making like, we should be able to basically purge the ghosts, do an exorcism and cleanse the house of all the ghosts. And Elliot is trying to like, Elliot's mad not at Alice here, but Elliot is dealing with his own shit here about death and what fair means, and really like unloads a lot of his baggage onto Alice super unfairly. But the show is also not saying that Elliot is wrong here when he's saying that like, Alice, I get that it's not fair. Welcome to fucking life. Life isn't fair. Why would death be any more fair? And she's like, we should be able to purge, like do some kind of exorcism. He's like, yeah, you can purge the house, but you cannot purge ghosts. And she's like, every culture has some way to like do an exorcism to get rid of ghosts. Like it's ubiquitous across all cultures and all magical peoples. And he's like, yeah, it's ubiquitous to prevent this from happening, but not from stopping it when it's already happened. Grow up. And like, I forget, he calls her like some mean word, but that's the gist of it. Quentin tells Elliot to shut the fuck up and the fuck off, and Elliot does. I think recognizes that he took it very, very much a bit too far, but I kind of like walk off and leave the conversation awkward and hanging, but nobody seems to think that I was wrong. Right. I just was being way too mean about how I said it.
Exactly. So like, there's nothing we can do here, and we all kind of just like agree to leave, basically. Like, maybe we'll be back in the future if we can figure some stuff out, but for now there's nothing we can do here. So
we don't have enough information, enough backup, enough support, enough knowledge. We gotta go.
And my last scene's at the cottage.
Yep.
Back at school.
We're having a drink,
Of course.
I
don't know if there's been a scene in the cottage where somebody isn't drinking.
Yeah.
Elliot's
fair.
Always in the cottage.
I will say, like, maybe this is good. Like, the drinking stuff I think is fun. Like, it's fine. The whole, like, this is Harry Potter, but fucking, like, whatever. I was less okay with that. I'm more okay with it after this episode, because if they're dealing with, like, the adult stuff, like, people die and, like, whatever, like, this is, like, no, like, with the adult stuff come adult themes, and, like, child abuse is something we, like, I don't know how like much they're gonna nail the landing on any of this stuff. But it's like the good and the bad, not just like raunchy magic sex in Ibiza or whatever.
Are we doing wrap up or are we?
There's
just
this
got
quick scene
one
here.
more,
Okay.
one more.
We got a little bit.
And so now I'm like, okay, let's see this button. And you take out the button, put it on the table, and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel something coming off of this.
Yeah.
And I open the container, and I'm like, does no one else feel that?
Yeah, we don't really feel.
And Elliot and Quentin says, "Don't touch the button, man."
And I said, don't talk to me like I'm you. I've been trained by professionals. I stay put until I want to go, period.
And, then
And the minute I touch it, I'm gone.
I
Fucking
knew you were
disappear.
gonna do that.
Yeah. And Quentin's like, "I told him not to do that."
and the button disappears with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm almost positive you and the button both disappear, probably to Fillory.
Yeah.
So Penny, we might not have a Penny or a Margot next week.
No, we'll have Penny next week.
You think we'll have Penny back?
I want a staycation.
I think you're gonna get the opposite of a staycation, which is like a
Yeah, I think
40-minute
it's gonna be-
episode.
A work from vacation?
Yeah.
No, it's just work.
It's a
Oh.
lot of work. I think
A little work
for
from
you.
beach action,
I
maybe.
think all of us might have vacation and only you get an
that'd
episode.
be the.
Oh, that'd
I-
be so lit.
Will violently
That's possible.
protest.
Have we ever had a solo episode?
No, we
Yes.
haven't. Have we?
Yes.
Yes.
I've done one.
Yes.
We've had
Angel.
secrets I've done solo. Oh, did you do a solo as Angel?
I think I did a solo Angel.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay.
I think it's before
and
I
I
was
found out
watching.
after, I found out upon arriving.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I need to work in breathing checks.
Yeah,
I
maybe I,
remember that.
actually maybe remembering this a
I
little
do
bit more now.
remember this.
Wrap ups though.
Okay, so
Stasia, what's up?
okay. I
She
guess
got it from here, right?
Yeah, I can take this. I kind of get what you're saying, where it's like we had this. It was like this thing where we were constantly like, why are they just drinking so much? Why are they so like why is every single person in the magical world like this? Why are there so many weird rules and stuff? And like, if they're gonna like throw this in at episode 9 and they're like, haha, we tricked you. You thought this was a CW show. No.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually like going to be really serious. And that was just to kind of set the ground rules of magic before we like get into it. I can see maybe finding that interesting.
I mean, they've been hinting that like a lot of the magic has to do with like trauma, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever. That's
Yeah.
kind of where it's powered by.
And we kind of were like, I don't know, like it kind of felt like something they were saying
Yeah.
and not doing.
Right,
And I feel like
exactly.
this is them doing.
Like there's like 3 scenes of me. There's that one episode, but that one's kind of a weird one of like Quentin in a mental hospital, right?
Right.
And it's just like he has brain issues,
Right. They're not going into detail.
right?
And a lot of the
Yeah.
other stuff is people like talking vaguely about their past.
Right.
Yeah. Or like, oh, there's a whole year that's missing, but it's like, yeah, but that's not like.
And
Yeah.
we're not getting like the flashback of Elliot pushing a kid in front of a bus, right? Like
Right.
that's all done in like spoken word backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So I can kind of see it, though. I'm going to be honest with you. If this is an intentional swerve, it worked because I was
Yeah.
not thinking that's what we were doing.
Yeah, I'm wondering like, obviously it's not a direct comparison, right? Like the author's more C.S. Lewis than J.K. Rowling, but like there is something to the like, tens of thousands, millions of people or whatever are like inspired by fans of your books, like getting tattoos, like dreaming about this fantasy world that
Like
you,
defining.
right. And then learning later that like, oh, they're like a person with their own faults and like some are worse than others, and you have to like try to grapple your fandom with like the shitbag behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like weirdly pertinent to like.
Well, I'm wondering if this was written in response. I don't know when this came out.
No, I don't think so. I
No.
think this is older.
I think they
Just
called
nailed
some
it.
shots.
Yeah.
But it's some heavy death of the author shit because like
Yeah.
like I have a nephew and niece who adore things like Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you want me to like? I go to an 8-year-old and go, hey, actually, like
Right.
it's the, and then you grow up, and I don't think we're there yet, but you have people that grow up then learning
Yeah.
after the fact when everyone else already knows. So like, I now look at Quinn, who like spent the first half of this episode saying these books mean everything to me.
Yeah.
Like these saved my life.
Literally said that.
And Now what do you do?
I
my
think
God.
I think there's a little bit here though. Like obviously it's gonna hit him hard, right?
Yeah.
It will, but unlike a Harry Potter or whatever, Fillory itself is real.
Yes.
Right. And in some ways, like obviously it's childrenificationized or whatever, where like it's toned down and a secondhand account and everything else. But I think Quentin could latch onto the fact that like, no, this world that I spent my entire childhood and most of my adulthood like dreaming about is still a real place, and I could still find a way to go there. And I think that could be the thing that like
Yeah.
effectively saves him from spiraling too hard. Obviously, if this news came out to the larger world who doesn't know Fillory is real, that's a whole mess of issues for like the millions of other fans. I'm not saying Quentin's like special here, but he
Right.
knows something that whatever.
I think what maybe is another good like comparison, rather than because like the Rowling Harry Potter thing, I think one kind of like suffers from like she did a lot of damage, but as far as we know, isn't out like abusing and sexually.
This is like taking.
yeah.
This is a
But-
dramatized.
Yeah.
Right,
like,
it's dramatized, but I think the
This
idea
is turned to 13
for sure. But the idea that this is also like a secondhand account, like Christopher Plover was not creating this world of Fillory out of whole cloth.
Yeah.
He was stealing the words and stories of children and regurgitating and marketing them and using them to gain power that he then wielded over the children to control, abuse, and manipulate them. This almost has more of like an Epstein vibe, where like he's a
Yeah.
producer who is wielding his power and using that to feed back
Well,
into
It's
his
hard to tell at this
um,
point though.
thing,
Like
but-
we don't know if anybody besides Martin was being abused.
Actually, it also
That's
leans
I assume
more.
that he would want to abuse
Oh,
potentials,
what's
but-
the Hollywood producer guy?
Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Maybe that's who I was thinking. Is that Epstein isn't a Hollywood producer? Did I get Epstein
Yeah,
and
I
Weinstein?
think
you got
Yeah.
him switched.
I got my Steins confused.
Yeah.
I meant Weinstein.
Yeah.
very much of a Weinstein style like abuse ring, like using that power. Like he's not the one creating these stories whole cloth.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix because Weinstein, as far as I know, wasn't children as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
but
So
no.
I think,
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
is mixing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
There's a lot of horrible people, and that's
Yeah,
why I mean, like, I think that's what this show is gonna be talking about, right? Like, it's like this is. I think it's it. I think it could be interesting. I feel like it depends on how they handle this,
It became a wildly different show.
really quickly.
yeah.
I do. I mean, it does do a lot for the show, like having this thing, because it makes the stuff about the Beast personal all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like we knew nothing. We had no reason to care about the Beast other than he wanted to kill us.
It grounds a like monster
Yeah.
way more.
Yeah.
It's one of those easy things that's like, and not easy because it's like bad, and I'm not like chiding the show for doing it, but it's like there's no quicker way to get a modern audience to say like, oh yeah, I'm now personally like attached to fucking up this villain. Then it's
Yeah.
like they're a Nazi or they're a child molester.
Yeah.
Like that's like your 1-2. And he's not a Nazi as far as we know, but he molested kids, and now I want to see him fucking die. And it doesn't matter how he dies, and it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how violent it is, and how
The
like
show can
usually
get
not violent enough.
yeah, the show can do whatever it wants. Like he molested kids, and you're like, oh cool. So if he like gets dropped into acid or whatever, like great.
Pants grenades.
There is
Cool.
there is something interesting there though, because like if they did something more like, because the show's been dealing in gray areas a lot
Right.
with like, how is this on like the moral spectrum, and this is very much the like farthest end of the moral spectrum that you can go, right? If they did something, let's just pick something off the top of my head, I don't know, if he was a raging transphobe, like the audience wouldn't be as like, fuck that guy, I can't wait to see him die, but most of the audience would not be like that, versus like he is a child molester,
Yeah, they like very specifically chose, like you said, Colin,
Yeah.
to be sure that
Visceral anger.
yeah, like the audience would respond in this way. But I hope that it's like it's a. I mean, we got to talk about it. It's a jump for them to do this.
Yeah.
Like you got to nail this now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, yeah, you decided to do this. So, okay, you can't just make this like a thing that happened that we never talk about again.
And based on their track record with mental health issues, jury's still out.
It's like that's the only thing I'm a little concerned about.
Yep.
All right.
But that's the end of this episode. We'll have to discuss that next week on Dragon Ball Z.
What is this thing you're doing all of a sudden?
next
I
week
like
on?
It sounded like you were trying to do an outro, and then you realized that we still have to like be like, oh, also join us this
Oh.
weekend.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize we had to do
You
this
trying to take
weekend.
my job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chop chop.
Talk about this weekend.
You don't get to chop vacation.
Don't touch the button.
this Saturday at 1 p.m., August 9th, we will be watching an episode. Please vote on our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Pop Culture Roll Call.
There you go. And now you can outro us.
Great for sound right there. I'm your host, Mike, signing off. Let me, as always.
It's Daja.
In front of me, as always.
It's Colin.
And right here, right now.
Brian.
We'll see you next time.
Bye forever.
For more information, go to popculturerollcall.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Our new theme provided by Stephen Rossbach. Find him at StephenRossbach.com for more of his work. Join us next week for another episode of Pop Culture Roll Call.